we rely on tips. That's how we find cases, and sometimes it's through reporting, like AJ here.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Julie Nelson. Federal wire fraud charges announced today in the wake of KARE 11's housing hustle investigation. 8 defendants were charged in what the acting U.S. attorney described as the first in a wave of coming indictments. AJ Legault joins us with the latest developments in his ongoing investigation.
Julie, a systematic and wholesale attack designed to overwhelm Minnesota's Medicaid system. That's how the massive scheme to rip off Minnesota's Housing Stabilization, or HSS program, was described today in federal court.
The HSS program is riddled with fraud. The story has become all too familiar.
The story acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson is talking about was told in a series of KARE 11 investigations. They expose webs of intertwined companies like Brilliant Minds and Foundation First, allegedly billing Medicaid for fake meetings, forged signatures, and phantom services.
These are often just purely fictitious companies, solely created to defraud the system. We're up to over $100 million a year in the program, and most of it's fraud as far as I can tell.
Asada Dow, the owner of an HSS company called Leo Human Services, was among the 8 business owners charged.
You're billing thousands of dollars for work that's not being done.
The indictment claims he used the millions of dollars he fraudulently billed to the HSS program to invest in real estate in Kenya and lease his BMW.
Did you buy this car with all the money you're billing taxpayers?
I didn't buy this car, but you guys asking too many questions, all right?
The reporters in this room have been asking the right questions and doing their own investigative reporting to identify fraudulent companies and schemes. And if there's a hopeful note, the state and its politicians are starting to take notice about the problem.
Just yesterday, in a capital fraud hearing,
the appointment of our assistant commissioner has ended.
It was announced the assistant state commissioner who oversaw the HSS program had been fired.
It's time for everyone to speak up and stand up to confront the problem in the state before it is too late.
Thompson said today was just the first in a round of indictments. It was the first round of indictments in this case, which is going to be charged in waves. You can read today's indictments and watch the entire news conference announcing the charges on KARE11.com. Julie.
And I was listening to a big chunk of it, and Thompson said at one point, I've been prosecuting these cases for years. I've literally run out of ways to express what is happening in our state and to explain the coming iceberg. And when he's talking about the iceberg, your assumption is that he means all of these different types of programs that he's finding are interconnected.
He's finding all these programs are interconnected. There are significant indications of fraud in many other of Minnesota's Medicaid programs. We're starting to find it, and we'll have more reports in the coming months. And you remember Thompson was also the lead prosecutor in the Feeding Our Future case, which involved Department of Education funds, and now we're looking at Medicaid funds from DHS. And he's saying, it can't continue with this massive amount of money.
Yeah. Any idea where that could end up? Because it was $100 million just for HSS that he said was mostly fraud, from what they can tell, and that's just one of these programs.
Yeah. Thompson has said before he thinks it's going to be around $1 billion when all is said and done, and it seems like what we're seeing spent on different programs and the level of fraud that you see when you start looking into them, that's probably pretty close to accurate.
Wow. Again, excellent reporting, AJ.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.